Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Lost Eidolons. I'd like to start this episode by apologising for the length of the last episode. It was very long, and if you stuck all the way through it, you have my deepest respect. I usually have an alarm clock beside my computer when I'm recording, so I can just look at it and see how long an episode has been going. Yeah, just keeping track of time. Now, unfortunately, last night, someone else needed that alarm clock because they needed to be up at a very early time in the morning for something they really couldn't afford to miss, and so I didn't have a visual timepiece in sight. I could have shrunk down the game and checked and stuff, but it would have detracted, and so I did a recording check at the end of the camp section, realised it was very short, about 20-25 minutes, decided to go into the next battle. I did not realise the next battle was going to be a very long and convoluted one with multiple stages, and that I was going to want to go back and read it all the way from the beginning. I mean, I knew the first one was like 20-25 minutes. I got to the point in the battle where I thought, okay, I need to go back and restart this. This is what? I mean, I've been like 15-20 minutes in the battle so far, so like maybe 50 minutes at the most. I can go back, do it again, another half an hour, maybe a bit longer. It'd be a slightly long episode, you know. Didn't realise it was going to be about 3 hours. So I apologise in advance. That episode is currently uploading, and it may take a very long time for YouTube to process it. It might be a few days, in which case I should record something else to help fill the gap. Here we are in camp. So, 3 Neo Prestige quests available as usual. I will be looking at those soon. Francisco found something strange in the Behemoth's remains. Residents of Faulnacht province have been complaining about our activities. Johanna appears uncomfortable among the rank and file troops. Some people around camp have been complaining about Albrecht. Some of our units have unlocked new classes and we can hold an appointment ceremony. One of these prestige quests may be an appointment ceremony, so I'm going to hold off on that. Let's look at the map. We need to speak to Clara. Where is Clara? Probably in the training ground. So should I go? I would like to go and pick up the prestige missions first. Also, we have things and stuff. What things do we have? We have the Stonegrass Necklace. Gives 6 critical defense. A woven necklace made from enchanted grass, deep in the heart of Liviu. Boosts the wearer's critical defense. I will need to think about who needs that the most. Someone will benefit from it greatly, and I don't know who. We have 3 new potions, apparently. A small recovery potion. A small recovery potion. Oh, Viturin has stuff, right, okay. And a... well, whatever it was probably another small recovery potion, right. We have no gifts. We have 1 codex entry, so let's grab that, given that we're at 81 of 150. The Interregnum. With the defeat of Prime Minister Morin's forces at Lorilleux and the subsequent fall of the Ludivictan Empire, the continent of Artemesia has entered a period of rapid reinvention marked by intense civil upheaval. With no centralised government, the question of where authority rests and why has been blown open wide, upending existing social order and sparking widespread conflict between various shifting factions. Most powerful among them are the armies of Ballastar Fenice, now the self-titled King of Benario, following a successful coup against the late Abramo Orsio. But his rule and attempts at conquest beyond Benario's borders remain heavily contested by the nobility of old. Only time will tell if the Fenice forces can successfully forge battlefield victories into a lasting dynasty, or will themselves be deposed by some challenger yet to emerge. Now, at one point I saw somebody's YouTube thumbnail which appeared to show King Abramo and his army arriving in the Empire after its defeat. Clearly that has not happened. At this point, the story has run in a linear manner, pretty much on the rails. Now, it wasn't the coronation. It was definitely him in armor and soldiers with a outdoors background. Now, the story has run, and we haven't had any real major decisions that could have shaped the story. We have had the ability to build rapport with people, and one of Ballastar's soldiers, Hector, was an option. We could have built rapport with Hector over a number of chapters, and Hector had no rewards for any rapport tiers. I don't believe we could have built rapport with any of the other members of Ballastar's troop. Would that have changed things drastically so that the king may live? I do not know. Perhaps he is not dead. Perhaps he is being held prisoner, and maybe Ballastar had the decency to keep him alive, not daring to actually slay him, and is keeping him prisoner. Very Man in the Iron Mask. Now, we have unlocked lots of new classes. Let us enjoy these. And that is some very nice looking armor. We get Vanguard for Francisco, which is why I didn't grab it for Eden, because we'll get to see what it looks like here. Again, lots of gold and ornamentation. Actually, that little joint protector, that's called a joint protector because it protects the armpit from things coming in. You know, essentially, joint protectors came before pauldrons, and then the pauldrons came and joint protectors kind of went out of fashion, but they are sometimes combined. Templar for Robert. And the reason I brought up the joint protectors is that is very similar. It's slightly more concave. Wait, concave and convex. One is one where it bulges out, the other one's where it dishes in, right? And I can't remember which is which. But that is a very similar element. There is a difference. There's more grooves here, more planes, more recesses, and it's less floral looking. And we get Ranger for Robin. Now, there has been talk on the forums and on the Discord server of a lot of people asking, did the Ranger and the Sharpshooter accidentally get their armor models switched over? Because this looks more like it might be the Sharpshooter model, and the Sharpshooter outfit looks rather more Ranger appropriate. There hasn't been any word from the developers. I think this is the way they intended it, and people just feel it might look better the other way around. I don't know for certain. However, I am seeing a very reassuring lack of backwards belt buckles here, so Robin's outfit has been significantly improved, in my opinion. We have nothing new for Leonard because he has not yet reached level 30. We need to try and get everyone to level 30 to unlock more classes. And of course we have the Bishop class for Marshall. And this, I believe, is her Codex entry outfit, which I said looked very religious. Yes, it is this outfit. Also, she gets the last spell slot now, so let's put something in there. Sacred Calling. Uses the power of light to move a distant ally to an adjacent tile. I don't know if I get to pick the adjacent tile or if it's random, but that is a very long range. She can summon someone to her side, be it Leonard or a warrior type to protect her, but it's a really good spell, and we get actual teleportation. That is magnificent. And there she's looking at her sleeve there in admiration. Isn't that nice? as she lowers her hand gently, to try and be graceful and regal and noble looking, even if this metal collar chafes at her throat and makes her feel restricted. Now, we have Assassin and Ranger available for Andrea. We have another person who has unlocked the Assassin class, so we'll go Ranger for her. Now, Andrea has affinities for both these classes. Charges into an enemy. Oh, the backwards bunny hop. Very good tactic for Wood Elf War Dancers in Blood Bowl, actually, where you just declare the blitz, charge up, bash into them, and then jump back a square or two so they can't counteract you without declaring the blitz. Normally you use the leap to get around people or over people, but just that little hop back can infuriate them no end. So yeah, we're going to go Ranger for her because no one else is going for the Ranger class, particularly at the moment, yet. And now we get to see this outfit. It's rather more green, rather less metal than was present in Robin's armor, where he had the little breastplate. Again, the buckles all seem to be functional. I can't see the arms very well here, but that's all good. Nothing yet for Gilbert, because he needs to get to level 30. Right, level 30. So what has she not unlocked? I think she's going to switch back to Huntress to work on that bow skill, because she wants Sharpshooter and Templar. So, for Templar, we probably need the light magic. For Sharpshooter, bow 10, I think. Yeah, so we need light magic and a bit of archery for her. Yes. So we may switch her training very soon. Nothing new for Johanna, but she could switch to Priest anytime she wants to and be a different support character. Clara has unlocked... well, Squire and Knight we could dip into at some point if we wanted to. She needs another couple of levels to get to her preferred affinities for Assassin and Sharpshooter. With the eye patch, probably Assassin. Also, if we built more rapport with Clara and Johanna earlier, we only had the one chapter to do it in, so we had very limited opportunity. We probably weren't going to get to see them before this point in the story. Nothing new for Gabriel, he's only level 27. Dahlia has unlocked the Assassin class. And there we have... that's a lot of gold, and very bright gold. Well, it's more of a dull, brassy colour, really, for an assassin. That is a very strange thing that may or may not be a buckle. It's clearly decorative. That's more of a clasp, so it just holds us in place. And those rivets, those are all correct, and very short, stubby short. And there's no way those extra holes are decorative. She probably couldn't pull it that tight. This is also decorative. Right, okay, so the assassin can use 2 swords. So let's actually do that. She won't get to use her shield as much, but it will remind us that she is now doing lots of sword attacks. Lavana, 27. 29 for Albrecht. He's nearly there. And for Sorcerer and Bishop, what do we need for those? Sorcerer, he's pretty much got that. Bishop would need a lot more light magic, so we should probably look into training that for him. It's at 6 now, so it's a good deal of the way. Nothing new at 24 for Stella. Goodness, she's got a lot of catching up to do. She'll be in virtually every optional battle, and we get Bishop for Edie as well, which means she will get a new spell slot. Now, for her, Divine Protection. You know what? Yeah, why not? She doesn't seem to have that teleportation spell available yet. Sacred Calling. There it is. She's got it. Absolutely. But I think having that for Marshall and having something different for Edie, Divine Protection is something we should definitely use more often. So there we go. 29 for Viturin, so he does not get Berserker or Vanguard yet. Berserker he might not have for leather armor. 8 will check. And Vanguard, sword and shield and plate. Right, plate at 8, leather at 8. So how's his armor skills doing? Maxed and 6, so working on the plate armor. Axe is maxed as well, so let's get him sword and shield. We do have a rare sword here, but I'm holding off on that so it can be Andrea's second sword when she hits assassin. So we're going common sword for now, and a shield. And actually let's swap to plate. Now these are all very nice. I'll give him normal plate for now because I need to decide who I'm going to give those to over the course of this camp. And there we are. Eden, as Overlord, now gets Elemental Grimoire and spells. Fireball, Tempest Gust. Let's replace, get that Thunderbolt as fits his theme. Tempest Gust, no, we can leave that. Okay. So I'm going to go this way because I see someone here. Johanna, Karen is also here, and the attendant. Not a lot of people in this camp section, but there might be something in a tent for me to pick up. I imagine some of the tents will no longer be here, such as the ones associated with Battlestar's soldiers, but we seem to have kept those in our camp. Maybe some of Clara's friends will come here. Nothing? And take these tents. Maybe Clara gets one of these tents later on. Let's go see how Johanna's doing. She's apparently having some difficulty settling in, which makes total sense because I remember this, see? Since joining Eden's camp, their dynamic has remained... Yet to everyone's surprise, including her own, Johanna has begun to socialise and grow close to her peers in camp. A bit of her old self re-emerging among new friends. Though she may not be as outspoken as his other advisors, Eden relies on Johanna's input in times of need. Now this looks remarkably similar to Robert's armour. We have these pauldrons, these joint protectors, and these little golden pieces of cloth. She doesn't have the cloth, and we got this design on the breastplate. This could be a different outfit. Who? Oh, of course! A light grimoire. How could I forget? With healing touch and divine hand. Perfect. Perfect spells. I'm pretty sure this is the one that Albrecht was using. I'm going to quickly check if anyone else needs a spellbook after the class changes. I think I may have covered everyone. So, her affinities are Warlock and Bishop, neither of which are probably going to Warlock Might. Ooh. That's a lot of dark magic. Probably something that Gilbert is going to be heading towards as well, actually. Right. I'm just looking for big warnings like, hey, this person needs something. Okay. And we're good here.
Hello.
No conversation. Clearly we need to talk to someone else, like Clara, to say, hey, you know, Johanna's always been quiet and reclusive because she got accused of having an affair with her sister's husband at one point, and it ruined her reputation. She had to flee the village. She's clearly not ready to open up to me. Also, 80 leadership points. If the stuff to do in camp doesn't eat up too many leadership points, and the prestige quests don't need too many, then I could easily see this being a bit of another relaxing camp, a recovery camp, a free and easy, do what you want with your leadership points camp. So, urgent, bandit duty. We'll earn some decent prestige if we clear out the bandits in this area. 10 bandits has to be done this chapter, so there have to be 10 bandits available this chapter, otherwise why is that even there? Next prestige reward at 135 instead of 120, so now we're going up in 30s instead of 15s. Urgent, procure supplies. I need some assistance procuring supplies for villagers throughout Falnacht. Marshall delivers 3 small recovery potions to Marshall for free prestige. And organising the troops. Hold an appointment ceremony for your troops who have earned new classes. I will absolutely do that very soon. Do we have free smoke? Because we've been equipping a lot of these. 1 small recovery potion. Let's hand out a few bigger ones. Because we have some medium recovery. We don't have very many medium recovery potions. Let's just unequip that. And you know what? This one as well. There we go. And we can pretend we're big damned heroes. Is there anyone in this? I see glittering sparklies. We will interact with the glittering sparklies and acquire them. It might also be possible to get some more leadership points soon. Because 80 is not a multiple of 15. We killed another behemoth today. That's the 3rd this month. This one was bigger than most and the hide was really thick. We should talk to the blacksmiths and have them make longer spears for the future, and maybe reinforce the heads or something. Reinforce is with an I and it's not hyphenated. There was also one of those big worm guys. Whatever. Hate those things. Way too many teeth. I really can't respect a monster that's that big, but still tries to hide underground and be all sneaky. That's just weak. Everything's normal otherwise. Some hellhounds and maybe those weird lizards around camp. One guy got bit, but he's okay. Just a few fingers off his left hand, and he's a righty, so no big. Got a map from one of the locals that told us where they nest, so it'll probably take a squad and clear them out soon. That's probably Isle. Meantime, gonna tell the night watch to hang more meat traps at the 4th perimeter line. I think it means perimeter. Let's remove any. There's a few typos here. That is getting screenshotted. This place isn't that bad once you get used to it. I wonder how much longer we're going to be here though, and what that bastard's doing while we're gone. Probably nothing good.
Need something?
Chat over text. So, we are going to have fun with leadership points this camp. Clara thinks it's time we started marching. Any thoughts? There's good arguments on both sides. Yeah, and Clara and I have been yelling them at each other for 2 years. Only 2? So, what do you think? Is she right? Are we ready? I thought it was like 3 or 4.
Now, let's see here.
If it was us against Ballastar today, I'd say our odds are decent enough. As for Clara, there's such a thing as being right for the wrong reasons. You don't trust her judgment? I'll be honest with you, kid. We're off the map in more ways than one here. My experience has its limits. Your instincts, on the other hand, are about as sharp as they come. Well, not sharp enough, or we wouldn't be here. Better here than 6 feet under. True enough. Now, Gilbert is someone we may wish to increase our standing with, but to at least get him over the first line. Come on, click, click. There. I'm trying to get rid of Dane, who we may never see again at this point. Anything in that tent? Probably not. I see Leonard and Marshall are close together as usual, thick as thieves those two, and if I'm going to continue building a relationship with one, I should make an effort to get on well with the other. And Leonard does like, he's a spy, he likes strategy and tactics. Maybe speaking with him on these things here would be a good idea. Clara may send us to come talk to all these people afterwards anyway. What's our intelligence situation? Roughly the same as the last 2 years. You asked me to prioritize secrecy, so our scouts and spies remain here. Until you order otherwise, little will change, sir. Well, I can think of one thing that's changed. You're calling me sir.
Curious.
Ah, as opposed to mercenary, you mean? Or you fool? Yes, well, you're no longer either of those things. Careful, that almost sounds like a compliment. Merely recognition of fact. You have become a leader worthy of my respect. By hiding in the woods?
Okay.
By recognizing the value of patience, among other things. Good to know. That should not have automatically been scrolled down. Not quite sure who this is. Report, probably Leonard. Or Marshall. I am thrilled to report that our camp in Faulnacht is now fully self-sustainable. Go for a little bit of both in the voice, maybe. After a great deal of trial and error, all necessities have been secured. Sources of water and timber have been identified and are being carefully managed to avoid exhaustion. As for food, our foragers discover new edible fauna every day, as well as endless wildlife for hunting. And best of all, our parchment-making operation is finally up and running. With ample pages now available to all, my reports are free to use as many long, flowery adjectives as I choose. I find it exhilarating, stimulating, and propitious. Also, other resources, such as metals for weapons and tools, prove more elusive. Alas, other resources, such as metals for weapons and tools, prove more elusive. So far, we've discovered 2 ancient mine shafts in the region, but lacking the tools or experience to expand them, their output is limited. On that note, after months of hard training, boots are becoming a major problem. We have no shortage of hides, but only a handful of capable leather workers, also needles, nails. We may need to implement an apprenticeship system, something Andrea would probably approve of. In any case, as requested, our campaign stockpile remains furnished with enough supplies for 1 month's journey back into the world. We are prepared to march at a moment's notice, as we have been for the last 6 months, though I confess, the longer we stay, the less I wish to go. This could be the place where Marshall stays behind at camp, possibly with Sarah. Okay, I see.
Yes?
Hi there.
I saw your notice. I brought medicine for the villagers. You didn't have to do that yourself. Yeah, but here you are all the same.
You have my thanks.
Thank you. I'll see they get to the people who need them. And we will go nab those prestige points now before I forget. Obviously we will be back to the prestige board a few more times during this chapter. I could probably save it all up and do it once at the end, but by going back to the prestige board now and getting these points, I am reminding myself that I will want to come back here before the end of camp. Also, I get to see that number go up and pretend that when I get to like 115, something nice might happen, and it won't, because it won't even be 120. Now, let's head down this way and see what's going on over here. I think this armor does look better at a walk. At a run, it seems to almost lose focus slightly on the arms because they're moving so quickly. Elderly refugee. What have we here? Angry hermit. Exile. This could be where we're having problems with some of the locals who have been complaining about us. Now, down here we have Andrea with a question mark. We have lots of question marks, so lots of activities, some of which may... Hold it. Yeah, Clara's in here. So if we go down through the horse enclosure and bypass the middle of camp, which we will return to, and we'll have an appointment ceremony soon as well. Celebrating people's achievements.
Yeah?
Complaints about Albrecht. Should I hold off on that? Oh, it's you. It's Clara, I swear, she's trying to kill us. Eat, train, sleep. That's all we've been doing for the past 2 years. Well, do you think it's paying off?
Maybe.
I guess there are some improvements. The weaklings used to piss themselves at the first arrow, now take 2 or 3. But still, we're all exhausted. I'll look into it. Now, let's see about this then.
He's a menace.
He's a menace.
Who?
Who? Oh, this is voiced.
Your little wizard friend, Albrecht. He's been driving everyone crazy. Half my squad's complained this month alone.
Whoa, slow down. What's he doing that's bothering people so much?
Poking, prodding, asking bizarre questions. The other day, Marshall was practicing her spell work on the training field. He spent half the afternoon staring at her and scribbling notes. It was creepy.
That certainly sounds like Albrecht.
I don't know what he's up to, and I don't care. Deal with it, or I will.
If you're... But you will care what it is if you're going to deal with it, because you want to know what you're dealing with. Right, Lavana is down here. Probably no conversation at all, but let's find out. She may just be here so that we can talk about the horses a bit.
I've been expecting you.
Now, Lavana has been here a few times recently,
My
and
humblest gratitude.
also Leonard has been here quite a few times. Maybe that's a hint to me that this is an activity they might enjoy more often. For now, though, I'm holding on to my leadership points until I know what I absolutely need to do with them in this camp. This is some very fancy-looking late-game armor. It probably would behove us to also try and unlock the Templar class to get Eden's other affinity, because he will get to keep it. And then we might actually be able to go light magic warlord, which probably isn't ideal. Alright, let's see what she wants. Okay, this height differential is definitely not improving.
Well, well. Look who it is.
Clara, we need to talk.
Oh, that's voiced?
Well, hurry up then. It's almost time for evening training.
I know how much work you've put in these past 2 years. Without you, our forces wouldn't be anywhere near as strong as they are.
Why do I sense a but coming?
I think you're pushing them too hard. Not to mention overworking yourself. You've done more than enough. You have nothing to prove here. And I want all of us to make it to the end of the story. So try not to collapse before then, okay?
If I fall down, I'll just get up again. Pushing too hard is the last thing I'm worried about. Look at me. A patch. This damn scar. Peering out at the world through one eye. Lately, I'm almost getting used to it. Do you know how frustrating that is?
Clara.
If I can learn to live with that, how long before I do the same with all of it? With him? If I slow down now, lose that fire, lose my touch, gods, just thinking about it drives me insane.
I know where you're coming from. I've been there myself. But slowing down isn't giving up. It's conserving your strength. Just because a wound heals doesn't mean we forget it. Accepting that Leon's gone doesn't mean I don't still care. It just means not letting it hurt me over and over, so I can stay calm and do what needs to be done. In that sense, I'm stronger than ever. And I think you are too. So please, don't push yourself so hard. I'm counting on you.
Still got that silver tongue, I see.
It's not just talk.
I know. And I hear you.
Eden, sir. Excuse me for interrupting.
Oh, hello.
It's fine. What is it?
Lady Marshall is looking for you. She says there's something she'd like to discuss.
Got it.
So Clara's running on hate. She's using bitterness and that fire of anger to keep her going. Now, that works in the short term, and in the long term if you really maintain it, but you can't always maintain it, and eventually sometimes you have to start making excuses to keep it going, otherwise that passion begins to fade. It's kind of like the Scottish Nationalist Party. You know, they keep saying, we hate the English, we want to have nothing to do with the English, we're going to separate from the English. And then they get elected, and then they don't separate from the English, and they're actually not trying to succeed. If they succeed, they've lost their purpose. They're literally trying to fail. Because what they do is they get elected and say, if we get elected, we'll get you out away from Britain, away from the United Kingdom, separate Scotland. And then they intentionally fail so that they can turn around to the electorate and say, look, we really wanted to do it, but the nasty English government wouldn't let us. But if you vote for us again, and even more of you vote, we're really going to do it this time. You'll get even more support and they'll have to listen to us. And they keep doing it, so they keep getting elected. If they actually succeeded, then other parties would spring up and go, okay, now this is Scotland, we got all our different interests. And the SNP would go, well, we've kind of done what we wanted to now, and we're going to have a lot of people grateful to us for that, but we're going to have to actually come up with some new policies and actually govern and stuff. So Clara's in a similar situation here, where eventually, if she doesn't find more fuel for her fury and hatred, it's going to cool down.
Well, well. Look who it is.
I was wondering if I could talk to you about Joanna.
Why?
She seems a little reserved, especially for someone in a position of authority around here.
So why are you talking to me about it? I'm busy.
I didn't want to step on your toes. Plus, you two are... whatever you are.
Joanna doesn't talk much.
Well, I knew that already.
What I mean is, it's not just some cute personality quirk. Joanna's had some trouble. She doesn't trust people. So she keeps her mouth shut.
Ah, I see.
Good for you. Now get out of my hair. I'm trying to train your troops.
So Clara's available to talk over training. And she's proved to be more loyal and a better friend than we initially thought. So maybe we do deserve to try and get that little bump over the line. Same goes for Johanna at some point as well. Dane keeps invading the bottom of the scale, so we're going to have to do something about that as well. Now, here's the Master at Arms. We're going to have to... Yes, not Master of Arms, the Master at Arms. Master of Arms training, yeah, Master at Arms would be like a weapon master who knows how to use all skills really well. Would be less of a trainer and more of a demonstrator, a performance artist, or a champion of some sorts. Now, what is this? Training Journal. Dalton, Infantry Swordsman, 3rd Battalion. Can't take this anymore. That woman is pushing us harder than Ballastar ever did. I've never been this tired in my life. Up before dawn, half ration of oat mash and tea, run laps till the sun comes up, archery till noon, then sparring in full kit under the blazing sun. And do we get a break for lunch? No. Biscuit and 1 canteen on the march, and then it's running manoeuvres till dusk. American spelling of manoeuvres without the O, which goes before the E. It's MANOEUVRES. Yeah, till dusk. And only a single day of rest a week. No wonder that old workhorse on the farm was always so grumpy. On the other hand, can't argue with the results. I got more muscles now than Dad and Jonas combined. Other day I was chopping firewood and all but split the damn stump. If Clara's aiming for soldiers strong enough to punch castle walls in half and too tired to complain about it, I guess it's working. Very Druss the legend in a way, as in the trainer wants you to hate them so that you'll perform so well, and then you turn that hatred on the enemy. Training's progressing smoothly, he says. Excellent. Now, Stella's here. We can probably help improve her mood a bit.
Hey, need
No
something?
conversation,
Thanks a bunch.
just a rapport opportunity. And Albrecht is highlighted from all the way over here. Let's go say hello and see how he's doing. Is he the only other person here? He is the only other person here. And then we have Karen out here, and then we can run and have our appointment ceremony. Okay. What do you got for me, wizard? Young wizard, mind.
Welcome.
Nothing.
I thank you.
Okay. Talk to Marshall. Follow up with Marshall. Guess what? We're going to go talk to Marshall soon. Find Johanna. We know where she is. And we have a friend waiting out here. One who is not always very... Ooh, we get to go in here, where Chelsea was known to hide a few times.
Hiya.
No conversation, just gifts.
Thank you.
Not
thank
even a
you.
camp activity. So she is not going to get a big rapport boost this camp, whatever happens. We might want to talk to the developers about this little camera judder that happens when passing between those two bits of wooden fencing. Maybe push them ever so more slightly apart. And I am on the lookout for sparkly things to interact with over here. I'm not particularly seeing any yet. Now, we have an appointment ceremony, and usually if people are appointed to a class they approve of, like one they have an affinity with, there will be a conversation, so this could be a little bit of a long one. Let's dive in and enjoy it.
You've all been doing an excellent job here in Faunacht. I know some of you may have doubts about the training regimen lately,
Oh,
but I promise you this. The High Commander and I believe that what you're all doing is vital to our future success. Now here are your new assignments.
Eden has unlocked Overlord. Eden's also unlocked Vanguard. Interesting, might want to look into that one for him then. Vanguard for Francisco as well. Robert gets Templar, which Eden should also have if he boosts Spear a lot. Robin gets Ranger, which looks like it might be a sharpshooter outfit. Marshall gets the Bishop, and she's not the only one. Ranger for Andrea, but she should also get the Assassin unlock as well. Yes. And Two Swords does seem like her overly aggressive style. Dahlia also has unlocked the Assassin class, and I believe a second one as well. No, Edie gets the Bishop for now. Second Bishop, with Marshall standing behind her shoulder there.
Today. Back to training, everyone.
You've carved out quite the unique role for yourself. Guess so. Not that it's really on purpose. You don't sound very happy. It's not a very happy time. You're allowed to feel pride, Eden. Life is full of trials and joys are fleeting. All the more reason to enjoy them as they come. Unless you can outgruff Ballastar Fenice. Oh, I doubt that. Just feels strange patting myself on the back while there's still so much war and suffering. Don't be so hard on yourself. Try to appreciate your progress. My progress? Remember when we left Lonetta? You were just a mud-stained mercenary with a cocky attitude. Now look at you. Shiny armor, proud troops, loyal allies by your side. It seems rather simple to me. You have a great deal to be proud of. Hard not to be swayed by an argument like that. I hear you, Marshall. I don't know if I'll ever go back to how I used to be, but I'll try to appreciate the good things. Alright, now we're talking. From now, just call me Francisco the Vanguard. Francisco, do you know what Vanguard means, right? Hell yeah! It means I get a shot at the bad guys before anybody else. Most people would consider that dangerous. Hey, what do I care? You can die choking on supper just as easy as an arrow. As far as I'm concerned, there's no difference. I'm just saying, watch yourself out there. Oh, good. For a second there, I thought you were going to call the appointment ceremony off. Seriously, though, I appreciate the concern, brother, but I'm good. If it's not me up in front, it's somebody else risking their neck. I can't have that. As much as I hate to admit it, it is a good fit for you. Then that settles it. Watch out, world, because Francisco the Vanguard's coming. Never imagined I'd see you become a Templar. These appointment ceremonies are full of surprises. I have to admit, this isn't the kind of outfit I ever pictured myself wearing. Life is full of strange surprises. You can say that again. Mercenaries to this, and what a journey it's been. And the next few years are going to be just as bumpy. You speak like you know something I don't. Can you suddenly see the future? I wish. Guess we'll just have to build it ourselves. And there we have it. Let's go find Johanna. Joanna doesn't have an H in it. Johanna does. Johanna obviously comes from the German Johannes and Johann, which is like the German form of John. So Joanna is literally like a feminine version of John, in a way. Just like Joan would be for English, or Jean for the Welsh.
Hello.
Let's see how she's doing.
Joanna, what are you doing?
Listening.
You mean eavesdropping on your own soldiers?
I'm gathering information on unit morale. It's more efficient than talking to them.
More efficient or just less scary for you? I'm not saying you have to change who you
Both,
are,
then.
but communicating is part of being a leader.
I see. In that case, would you like to accompany me on my rounds today?
Me? What for?
Talking is part of being a leader. So let's talk. I could use the practice.
You want to use me to practice small talk?
If it's a problem.
No, I think it's a great idea. Let's do it. Where to first?
The square. I need to assess the density of merchant stands for evacuation planning.
Sounds great. I'll meet you there.
I just had a really dumb idea. And I'm fairly sure this isn't how the game's going to handle it. So we'll go to places where Johanna wants to meet, and we'll get a cutscene there with her. And she will still be back here, really. But if she actually were to stay in each of those locations and be available for a camp activity in each of the locations we visit on her rounds, that would be an interesting way of giving us an opportunity to build a lot of rapport with her. That's highly unlikely to happen though. What's likely to happen is there'll be a cutscene and then she'll move on to her next location. That would be an interesting way of doing it though, given how she's been vastly unavailable for a lot of the story. Now, in a way, taking characters like Clara and Johanna and making them unavailable until later on in the story, like now, is a good way for if we're playing in Maniac mode to have characters in reserve for later, so we can lose some characters earlier and not lose them all really early on and have these new ones added in.
Yes?
Right. We've got a number of things to speak about.
Marshall, what is it?
Eden, good timing. That sign you've been waiting for. I think I found it. Marcus of House Siegwolf has been making some unusual moves. Leonard?
The little house.
Yes, my lady.
With no power.
I'll take over from here. We've recently confirmed that Marcus has been purchasing arms in bulk from Hullisburg. He's also been arranging covert meetings with some colorful individuals, including mercenaries that have been spotted coming and going from the city.
Then that would mean...
He's preparing for war. It's the only explanation.
So he could think Ballastar's coming for him.
If we've got this information, Ballastar's people will too.
I agree. I expect they'll respond before long.
Leonard, keep an eye on them. If he moves a single soldier that way, I want to know about it.
Of course.
As soon as that report comes in, we'll call in all forces and decide what to do.
Understood.
Now, House Siegwolf is either in the west or the southwest. We're in the... Oh, we got more leadership points. We're in the far east or northeast, so if Ballastar moves on House Siegwolf, he will be distracted from the border, and that will allow us in.
Yes.
And now for a more personal matter.
What's this I hear about Albrecht following you around?
Oh, that ridiculous business. Honestly, I'd already forgotten about it. I'm more concerned with his, shall we say, eccentric suggestions.
Such as?
Well, he recently suggested I try wearing a blindfold in the next battle. For research. More seriously, he suggested we focus our magical training efforts exclusively on those with innate talent. And let all the other recruits wither.
Yeah, okay. That's a problem.
I'm sure he's got good intentions, but the man has no social graces whatsoever.
He's been out hiding in the wilderness for a very long time. Look, whatever I do this camp, I'm gonna have 15 leadership points to spend. especially with the additional 10 added. So I'm going to do that
Yes.
right now. Of course, go ahead. Clara's training regimen or the Empire? We can talk to her about the Empire anytime. Let's go for this one, because it is a bit extreme. Hang on. Do you see that? The Tang's going that way. The holes are on this side. Backwards, belt buckles! The soldiers are looking awfully worse for wear lately. Do you think there's some issue with our food stores?
Well...
More like their training. Clara's been running them ragged. Oh, now that you mention it, I have heard some of them complaining about her. I'm starting to get concerned. For the soldiers? No, probably for her. For Clara. Speaking personally, it doesn't feel good to be talked about that way. I think she can handle it. If anything, it'll just make her train them even harder.
It's worth considering.
Still, I think it's best you keep a hand on the rudder, so to speak. Okay, I hear you. Oh, are we finished already? Yeah, I think we're done here. But we did get a nice rapport boost with her. And that is something that's been long overdue by now. We want to try and get her up to close ally very soon, and we can do that with another 15 leadership points because we don't really have any gifts. Robin's doing really well. We should probably push to get trusted friend with him. But let's see what other things we need to do. So, there's also some question marks here we want to deal with as well. So let's come down and meet with Johanna and see what else we can do while we're at it. Probably have a meal with Sarah and help raise her rapport level a little bit. You never know, it might save her life. And also if we can get her that one little push over the edge, that's great. This camp may be about pushing people to the next level.
Alright, here we are. Any thoughts you'd like to share?
It's an efficient marketplace.
Joanna, you wanted to practice conversation, so converse.
I apologize. This is awkward for me.
Okay, I'll start. How do you think our little shops compare to Leary are?
In what sense?
I don't know. Variety? Our offerings are pretty poor compared to a city like that.
I disagree. Lyriar is a residential city. Its shopping district has to cater to an array of needs. Our markets serve two purposes: keeping soldiers alive and happy. They do that well.
I guess that's one way to look at it. You know, I just figured something out about you. It's not that you have trouble talking to people. It's that you only enjoy talking about things you think actually matter.
I suppose that's true. On that note, I finished my observations here. The training field is next on my list.
Lead the way.
But I'll catch up. Vichurin's here. I saw his name pop up. I'm going to visit Porter, because we just gave away 3 of our healing potions.
Welcome back.
So I'm going to buy some more. Smalls. We can get some smalls, and let's get all those medium recovery potions as well. 750, we can afford that. We haven't had very much good use out of the antidotes. Poison pouches unleash a miasma, so that's an assassin's skill they're going to get as an innate ability. Incendiary bottles, 6 fire damage in a 3x3 area. may also ignite... I don't know, it should ignite forests and stuff, like burning arrows and stuff like that. We don't know for certain. I have not made much use out of haste elixirs, warding elixirs, and the general elixirs overall. I should probably make more of an effort to use those. Or indeed utilize those. So Edie can have... Messy Fart, I believe a new cook.
Greetings.
So, meal and gift.
Many thanks.
I imagine Viturin might be available for that as well.
You have my attention.
Yep.
I give you my thanks.
And same goes for Dahlia, no doubt. Robin and Robert are here, so it would do to pay them a visit.
Well, look who it is.
Yep, okay.
Much obliged.
So, that's another reason why we walk. Because trying to run between these tables and chairs is awkward. Going at it at walking pace, much better. Let's see what these two are up to, and we'll even get to have a look at the notice boards as well. Robert's older, so he's senior. We'll talk to Robin second.
Yeah?
Hi there.
You two look busy. Yeah, as always. Is something wrong? Don't mind him, Cap. Everything's fine. It just feels like I've seen more monsters in the past 2 years than the rest of my life. Now don't start grumbling again. Besides, it's good practice. Yeah, he's got a point, you know. Better to train on a hunt you can control than get surprised doing it, well, you know. I think I've just had about enough training for... Clara's riding you pretty hard, huh? We'll manage, but she's definitely not taking it easy. If it was me, that'd be one thing. I'm used to everyone treating me like a kid. But the way she's been acting towards Francisco really burns me up. There, see? Now you're upset again. I told you not to get... Whatever that dialogue line was. Please, dear developers, let them stay on the screen long enough for us to read them. Or voice them, even. That would be great. I told you not to get going about it.
Yeah?
Here we are. At least this should be voiced. Wait.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Okay.
Hi there.
It's been a while since we talked properly. How have you been? Oh, hey, Cat. I'm alright, I guess. Something on your mind?
Let's see.
Do you ever wonder how much the world has changed without us? Not a single day goes by that I don't think about Lynetta. Sometimes I wonder if I'd even recognize it anymore. I wonder what his sorrow would think of all this chaos. I can't believe he and that bastard shared a bloodline. Or what's left of one.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Battlestar told me the Empire killed his father when he was a kid. Seriously? That's his problem? A dead dad? That's pretty cold coming from you. I mean, everyone lost someone during the war, and now they are again, because of him. Hell, my folks died when I was 3. You don't see me torching villages over it. Yeah, you probably don't remember it very clearly. So they're each available for a meal, but there's something else here as well.
Any news in Falnocht province that I should know about?
Nothing much, though we have been getting some complaints lately.
Complaints from who?
Some of the other colorful souls who live around here. Hermits and such. Apparently they don't like how we conduct monster hunts.
Rise up the monsters.
Something.
Makes them cause problems.
Hey, if you're interested, one of the louder ones dropped in today to chew my ear off. He's still in camp.
I'll check it out. Thanks.
Yep,
And
I should probably look
try
into
to be
that.
patient. The people out here can be prickly.
Alright. Who's the... This is why Sarah is away from her post. Let's go see what she's up to, talking to these soldiers. Maybe instructing them on what kind of foodstuffs to be looking for out in the wilds.
Hello.
Hi there.
Sarah, how are you doing on provisions? Set for the next 3 months. Our hunting and foraging squads are performing well. Clara, which you would know if you'd actually read the inventory report I submitted.
Well.
In my defense, that thing was 30 pages long. Not that I'm complaining. You've done a great job taking over supply management.
Right.
Well, trying to, anyway. Now, if I could just get these stubborn soldiers to turn in their reports on time... Where do you even find that much paper?
Pardon?
Oh, Eden, honestly, I sent you a report about our parchment-making operation months ago. Well, Francisco's over there. So, correct camera angles can release names. Interesting. So names can be detected at a greater distance. Alright. What are you doing here, big man, with your massive pauldrons that make you look like a space marine?
How's it going?
Did you find anything useful on that behemoth carcass?
Yeah, we got some good materials. Horns, claws, the usual. Oh, and a sword.
What? What do you mean, a sword?
Thing had a sword in it.
He said he saw something metal
Why
in its
would
stomach.
a monster be carrying around a weapon?
I think he said a
That makes
stone.
no sense.
Look, I'm just telling you what I found.
Okay, so where was it?
In its stomach, duh.
That makes even less sense. How would it survive having a sword in its guts?
Did you see how
Do I
thick
look
its skin
like a
was?
monsterologist? All I know is, when me and Robin cut that thing open, this is what fell out.
Whoa, that behemoth had good taste. Did you find anything else in there?
You don't want to know.
Mind if I borrow this? I want to have the blacksmith take a look at it.
Your kill, your sword.
Is this a joke about computer games where you kill a monster and it has something on its carcass, but it had literally no way of carrying around and no reason to have on it? It's like where did the boar keep that pitchfork? You know. Why does the giant have a tiny little ring the size of a human finger? Stuff like that. Well, the blacksmith's right here, right?
Have you ever seen a weapon like this?
Wow, well, that's a beauty. How'd you come across this?
In the belly of a monster.
Huh, you don't say. Of all the strange places. Well, the material is certainly interesting. Looks like it's got soulstone baked right into the metal. Honestly, I don't even know how you would forge something like this.
What makes you say that?
Soulstone's not a friendly ore. It takes a lot of heat to shape it even a little. Something like this, you'd need to forge about 10 times hotter than this one here.
Like a dragon.
Whoever made that used some kind of weird magic, or I'll eat my hat.
Interesting. Guess I'd better go talk to a weird mage.
So, if he hadn't said weird mage, I would have said Gilbert. Oh, that cloth is very stiff. It's not moving very much. So now we have 2 reasons probably to go speak to Albrecht. 75 points gives us what? 5 camp activities. Let's go speak to this hermit before we go any further. And let's speak to his surrounding fellow countrymen as well. See what their issues are too. The exile and the old fellow.
Hi there. My name's Eden. I'm in charge around here.
Well, well. The great hero of Falnacht has finally deigned to grace me with a meeting. How kind of you to stoop to the level of us lowly outcasts, Your Grace.
I understand you've got some kind of issue with our monster hunts. How can I help?
you can cut it the hell out. That's how.
Please, let's stay civil. I'm sure we can work this out.
Civil my ass! You people have been cutting down our woods, stealing our game.
You hunt the monsters?
How long have you been here?
I know the normal animals.
Years.
Then you've got no more right to this land than we do. We only hunt monsters for self-defense and things we need to survive. If you've got a problem with it, go somewhere else.
What, Eden?
You go somewhere else. There's 100 other valleys around here with no people.
Moving our base would just mean we'd be out here even longer.
I knew this was a waste of time.
You can say that again.
Mate, telling them to leave is not the best solution to this kind of problem. Oh, he's got nothing to say. It would be interesting if they did have something to say. I think they had something to say previously, like one, but I can't remember for certain. Right, I'm going to go to the training grounds now, see what Johanna's up to, because Albrecht is there as well. And I'll give Eden some time to think on how he really shouldn't have antagonized him and told him to bugger off. Look, they've been here a long time, they know the place. You don't just boot someone out of their home like that. Hello, what's that all the way over there? Oh, it's Robert. Okay, fine. As for the claim that Albrecht has no social graces, he's been hiding out in the wilderness for many years. You know, a refugee, what do you call it? You know, he's been almost an outlaw in many regards, although that's not technically the case. So he won't have had many people to socialize with.
So, what's next on your task list?
Spot checking equipment wear. It'll just take a moment.
You know, it occurs to me I never see you training out here.
I maintain my skills privately. Clara doesn't mind.
That's surprising. She'd skin anybody else alive.
We've worked together long enough for her to understand that my talents lie elsewhere.
Lucky you.
I agree. Her training regimen lately has gotten extreme. Truthfully, I find it a bit exhausting.
Perhaps you should speak to her about it.
Wow. Never thought I'd hear you engage in gossip. Joanna?
Not so much gossip.
Did I say something wrong?
She likes to think she's being
No.
objective.
I'm simply finished here. My
Yeah,
last
she didn't
stop
like
is the
that.
stables. I'll meet you there.
Sure.
Now we can get to the stables from here fairly quickly. But perhaps we could get Johanna to speak to Clara. Get her to tone things down a little bit.
Welcome.
Alright, look. This is more important. I should deal with this now. Yeah, okay.
What can you tell me about this?
Gods, isn't that marvelous?
Francisco said he found it in that monster's stomach. And the blacksmith said it had to be forged with magic. Do you sense anything from it?
The metal exudes a powerful elemental aura of lightning.
You mean like mine? The Eidolon thing?
Similar, but not identical. I wonder where it came from. One of the storm cults, perhaps. Well, it matters not. Either you found it, or it found you. I recommend you put it to use.
You think an antique like this will hold up in battle?
I do. And I wager it's got a trick or two as well.
I do like tricks.
Sturdy on there, Eden. Now then. This sword is the one that Eden had equipped in the very first scenario at the beginning, which was the flash forward to the betrayal at the banquet. Unique sword accuracy, physical attack, Levin Smash. Strikes with a surgical electrical blade, inflicting lightning damage on one enemy, only one. An enchanted blade that found its way to Eden's hand. Crackles of lightning energy. I think we should give this to Eden and no one else. We could absolutely give it to other people, but for now, let him use it. And it does have the same model that it had there as well. We have many potions. Let's just get those noticed, and we'll probably be equipping a lot of those very soon. We also have some new documents that we have acquired. And we're nicely working our way through. There we go. So we got these three here, which we will no doubt take care of.
Welcome.
But since we're right here, right now.
Albrecht, why are you bothering people?
Let's start with this one.
I have no idea what you mean.
I hear you've been following Marshall around, among other things.
Hmm? Oh, that. Just a bit of odd research.
And
He
what
does use light
exactly
magic.
are you researching?
The Eidolons, of course. I've realized there are severe gaps in our foundational knowledge about the actual mechanics of magic. The more I understand, the better I can train you. And the better I can train you,
The sooner the war ends. That explains why you've been acting like a lunatic. But what does that have to do with pestering people?
well, I can't exactly continue my historical inquiries, given our present situation.
So you decided to start using your allies as test subjects?
Oh, you make it sound so sinister.
It is.
Alright, that's it. No more studying people.
Well, what do you suggest? Study myself?
Why not?
Actually, if you and I were to duel, that could be rather productive. Very well then. I'll speak to the Master of Arms and arrange it. See you there.
Alright, that's a mandatory leadership point expenditure. However, Eden needs to increase his light magic skill. And Albrecht needs to increase his light magic skill. So I think that's a win-win situation right there. Should probably give Clara a bit of a boost. I think she's earned it for her loyalty. Bit of a talk over training. But let's go see how more awkward this can get. In the hope of less awkwardness in the future.
So, what are you up to here?
Nothing. I just come here between tasks to settle my mind. I find the smell calming. It reminds me of the ranch where I grew up.
What horse shit?
Oh, I had no idea.
No one does. Not even Clara.
Aren't you two best friends?
And you just told me
No.
that?
Business partners at best. Usually, anyway.
Speaking
Oh.
of Clara, I'm curious about something.
Yes?
If you were trying to avoid talking to people, why choose the mercenary life?
It paid well. But working on my own, or with most other mercenaries, proved to be challenging. Clara and I never had that problem. She did the talking, I did the thinking.
I mean, that's good, I suppose. But you can't go through life that way forever.
You're not wrong. To tell the truth, I've recently begun to think the same. Maybe that's why I asked you along today. Thank you for accompanying me. It was helpful. I can finish the rest on my own.
Perhaps I'll even strike up a conversation or two.
Whoa, careful there.
Glad to hear it.
Maybe just one. Two might be pushing it a bit. Rapport increase with Johanna, and maybe Clara too? No. Not even remotely. Well, Andrea's there, and is she close to a bump? Not really. Okay. So, maybe then the characters who come down here more often also like to, find it calming and relaxing. Let's go talk to Robert and say, hey, I totally blew it. I told them to bugger off and never come back here again. And Robert will be like, you stupid idiot, they live here. Although maybe in a slightly more calming and soothing manner. Eden, you're a wally sometimes.
Yeah? How'd it go?
Terrible. I could barely get a word in edgewise.
Edgeways. Edgewise is an Americanism.
Prickly, but it doesn't mean he's wrong.
It's not even a real word.
It's not like he's part of some ancient tribe. He's a runaway squatter, same as us.
Try to see it from their perspective. Most of the people here are refugees.
We're refugees.
Yeah, and we have an army.
And they don't.
Which means we can't just run and hide from monsters the way they do. If we
But
don't
we
deal
can
with these
protect
things,
them.
they pick the whole camp off one by one.
Cap, come on. When did you get so inflexible? Neither side's in the wrong here, but we shouldn't get to bully them just because there are more of us.
You're right, of course. Damn it. I'll go talk to him again. Try to work something out.
That's the spirit.
Being in charge is annoying.
And sometimes it's very difficult. Alright. Spa of Albrecht, Angry Hermit will have an optional battle as well, and many leadership points to spend. Kinda want to spend some of those now. Alright, here I come. Eden, time for a bit of humility. And some empathy wouldn't go amiss either.
I'm back, and I'd like to apologize.
I'm listening.
It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. We stomped in here and made your life worse.
Oh, I apologize too. I shouldn't have gone off like that. You're just trying to help. Well, it's not like it's been all bad. It's certainly safer around here now. Just hungrier.
How about this?
Hey, we
don't intend to be here forever. But in the meantime, what if we share?
We can feed them.
Share? What?
Everything. Any monsters we kill, we'll set aside a portion of what we harvest for
Look,
you.
We've been here a few years now.
That would be...
We could literally
that would
be
great.
farming.
Oh, but you folks probably kill a lot more meat than I know what to do with.
But there are others around here,
He's
right?
asking for it.
Well, sure. A couple of loners like me, some families, a little scraggly village or two.
Think you could put us in touch? Same offer. Anybody
Hey,
whose
prestige
feathers we've
points, you
ruffled
know?
will make it right. I'll even throw in some supplies for your help. How's a dozen new bows sound?
Sounds like a fair deal to me. I take it back. You folks are good people.
We try to be, anyway.
Well, yes, we try. There we go. You know what? Could have been a lot worse. Let's go see the Master of Arms, though. Get this training match in. Before I do, however, yeah, go a bit of leather then, I think. Because we're going to have armor as well. Sure, we might each get a little bit. Okay, here we go. We would like to spar with Albrecht. We'd like to work on light magic and leather armor. There we go. Oh, here we go. It's time for us to learn from each other. Eden and Albrecht in training. Obviously one is the vastly superior magician, and the other is here to learn. No surprises for guessing who is who here. Space! Got it. That one wasn't too hard. Ooh, any more? No, that's clearly enough. Hey, we got a rapport increase. That's great. Up to level 2 leather. Probably, I don't know if he gets training as well or if it's just us, but Eden's got some experience and skills. That's great. Now let's go see what he thinks of that and what he thinks we may have learned. And also think about what we're going to do with our remaining 60 leadership points. So that is 4 camp activities.
Welcome.
Well, did you learn anything useful?
Too soon to say for sure, but it's certainly given me much to think about. And you? Did you discover anything new?
I discovered you hit really hard.
I believe in rigorous research.
So are you satisfied
Evidently.
for now? No more driving everyone crazy?
I will try to keep my inquiries unobtrusive.
Good. And I'll tell Andrea not to break your legs.
Was she considering it? Gods, you should have just said that from the start. That woman is terrifying.
Speaking of terrifying, got some gold, some potions. I'm going to check something really quickly, very stupidly. My apologies. For some reason I had the really annoying sudden feeling I'd left the oven on. I had not. That's a great relief. So, 4 camp activities. If I say Clara, Robin, Robert, and maybe Sarah or Andrea. Clara's got a long way to go, but we should push her quite easily. Robin and Robert are both on the last lap, so let's try and get those done. Sarah, yeah, maybe. Or Marshall. We could push for that. Yeah, that would be great. I suppose I can think of some of these after the optional battle. But for now, though, here we are.
Well, well. Look who it is.
Look who it is indeed. This might not push you over the line, but let's try. I'm surprised you still have enough energy to talk. So many options. We should probably talk about this one sooner rather than later, but we've spoken of that already with her today, so we can save that for a little later. Past mistakes, she's look, she's made mistakes in the past, but she doesn't like to admit it. She'll probably go, I don't make mistakes, you know. Johanna, probably a good topic to bring up, but she might also be like, why are you talking about her? Talking about his sorrow, that's a loss we both share. Let's see how that goes.
Hi there.
What did you think of a sorrow? He was a good man. Nothing like that nephew of his. He was cool-headed and cautious, but decisive as he needed to be. I just wish he were a better judge of people. I'm surprised to hear you say that, considering he accepted you. He accepted me, but he didn't trust me. He was careful who he let close. Maybe if there'd been more time? Maybe. Even another day or two.
I'm listening.
What do you mean? That last battle in the Brumhaus. I don't do regrets, but I think about it a lot. That's when everything started going to hell. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, it's done now. No sense crying about it. When you're training, focus on training. We need to remember... Right, soft voice, but also a hard edge behind it, a hard force, and short clipped phrases, and like almost a little bit of a glottal stop, but not quite. So a glottal stop is like, you know what I mean, just missing off the end of words and stuff, right? It's like, you're right there, meeting, talking to each, yeah, it's like that, right? A glottal stop is missing off the last syllable of a word. It's often practiced in estuary English, and it's often done with ings, which become in, where you're just like dropping off the G. Is it? What are you talking about? You know, it's like that, right?
Yeah?
I took care of that situation.
I heard. Nicely done, Cap.
I guess so.
Problem?
Used to be that would have taken me one conversation instead of 5. I'm worried you're right. I have changed.
We've all been through a lot. You more than most. Nobody expects perfection from you, so long as you don't stop trying.
Or you could take over.
I'll pass.
He doesn't have the...
Damn it.
Ego, the ambition. He's humble. Oh, that was a nice rapport boost. And some money. Excellent. And we appear to have got a gift item, a landscape painting. Now, we know Robert likes these. But we've got enough for 2 camp activities. And a medium strength elixir as well, okay. Free camp activities, even. He'd probably be best up in the tactical quarter, but still. Good food always leads to good conversation. Blacksmithing work, so similar to the chat we had with Robin about this, but let's just talk about the mercenary company in general. This topic's been available for quite a while, so it may relate more back to the old company we had before it burgeoned out into this whole massive army. Honestly, I'm a bit disappointed. I never thought I'd have to stop being a mercenary. You thought we'd do that for the rest of our lives?
Right.
Sure. After I left the woodshop, I felt it the only place I really fit. Plus, you were always going on about how brothers-in-arms stick together forever. Yeah, that sounds like me. I miss it too sometimes. There's a lot of plans I never get to see through. You mean like that thing with the shoemaker's son? Huh? Oh, sure, that too. But I meant more like plans for the future. Ways to set you and the others up for good. Mercenary life was fun, but you can't tread water forever. You really were looking out for us all, even back then. Well, I was trying to, but I guess that ship has sailed now. Our futures are still in your hands. There's no one else I'd rather trust with mine. No pressure, then. Reminds me of old times. Hopefully we can get back together again sometime. Yeah, I'd like that. And you know what, Robin? You deserve some attention too.
Hi there.
We might even get him over the halfway mark. We can save that gift for the next camp. What are we eating today? Oh man, I'm so excited. Hey, let's get back to that same topic. Oh, not such a big boost. Honestly, mercenary life work was always pretty hard for me. I mean, things Robert picked up overnight I struggled with for months. Makes me shudder just remembering my first solo job.
Sure.
I remember. That farmer who hired us to look into his chasing with dogs. We took his money in advance, and then when you couldn't crack it, he taught me, well, even threw in a couple of barbs about me being an orphan.
No.
I was hoping you'd forgotten that. But hey, what about that other time with the silk merchant's missing daughter, eh? Oh, we found her in no time and they paid us a bonus. But that was only after you and Robert schooled the rest of us on investigating things. I'm grateful for everything you've taught me. It's why I'll never give up trying to get better. And that's why I'll never give up on you. Sheesh. Oh. Today was nice. Ask me again anytime. If the topics are available in multiple locations in camp, people prefer various activities, but will there be topics which are exclusive to certain areas? Like, so would both of those topics have been available for Robin in the horse enclosure, or would one of them only have been available here? That's an interesting thought. That's 15 leadership points to hold on to until after the optional battle and decide what I want to do with them.
Hello.
We could try and get her up a bit there.
I can't thank you enough.
Maybe work on Francisco a little as well. Or even Vichurin.
Thanks.
Where are we? Vichurin has a bonus up here. Might be worth... I should maybe try and get all... Well, they've buggered off. Don't know if they'll come back. They might be gone forever now, like Dane. That was a short window of opportunity, so they may return. And hello, that looks interesting over there on the side. Wanted. Kikomang. Charges. Loosed a clouder of cats on a bed of daisies belonging to a noble household. Well, yeah, she could get into a lot of trouble for that. Wanted. Initiate. Charges, a treacherous informant. Wanted for personal insults and grievances against the Emperor. Well. These must be some old notices out here in the Badlands. The Emperor's not around anymore. I suppose if we find some old wanted notices, we might stick them up. Just poke a bit of fun at them, or go, hey, you know what? Maybe if we find these people, do them a favour or thank them for giving the Empire a bit of a hard time. Alright, well we got an optional battle to take care of, and I think this episode has been quite long enough, so I'm going to end this one here. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Actually, maybe a chat with Leonard here would be appreciated. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye and see you all next time. Cheerio everyone!